seems like in the fourth quarter, for Wemby to allow the game to come to him and read and have those reads earlier, how important is it for him in his growth as a player to be able to process things like that quickly?
No, I think it's been great. Obviously, Vic has faced a variety of coverages early on this season, double teams, box and one, all that type of stuff. So I think he's done a good job of just being patient, understanding it's a learning process, but still being aggressive and helping us win these games.
Harrison, you shot really well tonight. You had 6 threes. How important was the team's spacing and ball movement in order to help you get those clean shots tonight?
It's everything. I think we do it as a collective. Obviously, Vic is going to command a lot of attention when he gets the ball in ISOs, but for the rest of us, it's how do we make that easier? You know what I mean? How do we make the extra pass, shoot the open shot, crash offensive rebounds, just do it as a collective. So that was the biggest thing we want to do coming into the game tonight.
It was a stretch where you hit a 3 and then took charge from KD, and that you looked about as fired up as you've been as a Spur. Is that fair to say that was a pretty big deal?
I think there were a few moments last year I was a little fired up. But no, I think just tonight, like I said, I think we just had a bunch of contributions across the board. I think we were just trying to find different ways to have energy, maintain energy. I think coming off the Phoenix and the LA loss, we looked at a lot of areas in which we just didn't bring the competitive intensity that we wanted to. And, it showed up on tape. So I think for us, it was just how do we put that together for 48 minutes tonight, battle through some adversity and just have a clean game from an effort standpoint.
Does that go into the way that game ended in LA the other day and then coming back and finishing a lot stronger this time? Is that kind of the natural progression of this team?
Absolutely. I think early on, obviously, we haven't played a ton of games yet, but you get some big leads and kind of learn how to work through that. And then I think playing in some closer games, just getting better with late game execution. So each of these games has been a little bit different just in terms of what we've needed to do and how we need to execute. But like I said, they're learning processes for us.
Julian is still a young player in this league, and he had a pretty tough moment at the end of the game in LA the other night. For him to bounce back and have the night he had tonight, 6 3-pointers, what's that say about him? And are you guys kind of just happy for him to bounce back the way he did?
I mean, we have all the confidence in the world in Julian. I think when you look back at that game, in that situation, there's no one else we would have won on that floor to shoot those shots. You know what I mean? To shoot those free throws. And I think for him to be able to respond, not only tonight with this play offensively, but I think defensively, what he was able to do, I think he had 4 or 5 steals, and he was just active on the floor. I think a lot of those things fueled the break for us, allowed us to get on transition. So I think his contributions, obviously, people look at the offensive side of it and say, okay, you missed a shot here and you made shots tonight, so you must feel good. But I think defensively, he did so many things tonight that really helped us.
Do you guys feel like you needed to say anything to him after that game in LA, or is he just the kind of guy that just flushes into his run?
I mean, we told him. I mean, it was a good look. We have confidence in him, and we want him to shoot the ball. We want Devin to shoot the ball. We want everyone, all of our shooters to go out there and shoot the ball with a high level of confidence. You know what I mean? And I think that tonight was a great indication of that.
You mentioned the steals and getting out on the break. 15 steals tonight. Like, is that the sort of defensive identity and kind of ball hawking that you all have envisioned with this defense? And Victor, especially with Victor behind y'all and being able to play up and aggressive?
Yeah, I think in general, we want teams to feel our presence defensively. I don't know the last time I've had, a combined 10 fouls in 2 games, right? Like, it's just a different level of physicality that we want to try to bring, a different level of disruptiveness that we want to try to bring as a group. And defensively, I think that's more of where our focus has been in the preseason, and now just how we can influence games on that end of the floor and allow that to fuel our offense, as opposed to in the past, we let, made shots, dictate our effort on defense.
You guys have been fouling a lot. Like, Vic keeps getting to 5. Like, is that just part of the mindset that you guys are being so aggressive? It's like, we commit fouls, whatever, we got to play this way.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big consistent message that Mitch has had is, don't take down your aggressiveness because of fouls. We have a lot of bodies. I think that's one of the great things about our team is we have a lot of depth. But I think holding that standard of we want to be physical, we want to be disruptive, and if that results in fouls and guys getting in foul trouble and or fouling out, like, that's a part of the process. But don't take plays off trying to game that part of it.
Get De'Aaron back tomorrow. How do you see things changing with him back tonight?
I mean, I think we're all obviously excited, but what he brings to the table on both ends of the floor will only, I think, enhance everything that we're doing now. So it'd be great to get him out there. Let him get adjusted, let him get his legs back underneath him, and we know that it's still the same standard that we have to uphold defensively. With him coming back, obviously he's going to bring a lot offensively, but it's the same defensively.
Tonight, Vic drew a ton of attention in the fourth, and you guys both got a lot of open threes, and especially with regard to some huge offensive glass crashes that really win the game. You guys have talked kind of like in preseason, early in the season, about trying to understand what Vic is doing, so you guys understand how to play off of him. Do you feel like you're starting to finally get there?
Yeah, I think it's a process. I think as a player, I think Vic is still trying to understand, what works best for him, where his spots are, what he wants based off what the game presents him. And I think as a collective, we're trying to understand how do we maximize that. He's going to draw two. If not, he's going to score easily. But how do we continue to maximize good shots, efficient shots, shots that allow us to be able to get rebounds and allow us to play our game? So it's a process, but I think we're getting better at it.